Blightstone is the kind of game that could make anyone fall in love with the turn-based strategy and roguelike genres. It boasts a unique premise, a rich fantasy setting, and a satisfying long-term progression system that rewards you as you improve. At its core, it is an incredible strategy title that offers immense freedom, particularly through its gridless movement system. However, despite having all the ingredients for greatness, the game falls short in a few key areas. While the early access version is fully playable, featuring 3 maps, 5 hero classes, and a variety of bosses and enemies, the content pool feels shallow. After roughly 10 hours, you will have seen most of what the game has to offer, and the experience begins to feel repetitive. This isn't necessarily a flaw in the roguelike loop itself, but rather a lack of variety in the current content. Obviously, I expect the game to expand during its development. Your primary objective in Blightstone is to protect the Earth Glass crystal from the demon overlord Korgol. If the crystal shatters, your run ends. However, failure provides Earth Glass shards which fuel a meta progression system that unlocks new skills and upgrades for your heroes. You begin with 3 classes, the Brawler, Hunter, and Arcanist, and eventually unlock the Druid and Priest by completing red-marked quest events. The heart of this progression is the Continuum Forge. Here, you unlock permanent advantages such as expanded event choices, the Fate system, additional revives, and many more. While these 4 tiers of upgrades are impactful, the strands of time currently required to unlock them is incredibly scarce. Spending 9 hours just to clear 2 tiers of upgrades is exhausting, especially when you are forced to face the same enemies and mini-bosses repeatedly. This grind extends to the Crystal Runes system, where you unlock passive skills. Whether you're focusing on damage, health, or movement, the XP gains are small. Defeating a 2nd tier boss might only give you a single level, which feels unrewarding when the game simultaneously throws unfair spikes in difficulty at you. The result is a game that feels like it's throwing grind for the sake of grind at you. However, this issue is mostly connected to the first few hours. Once you've crossed that threshold and reached level 4, the experience becomes much more bearable. With new unlocks and expanded options for your crystals, the gameplay suddenly becomes far more enjoyable. Once you push past the initial learning curve and realize how much tactical depth Blightstone offers, the game opens up for experimentation. You'll start noticing clever environmental plays, electrifying a puddle of water for extra damage, using the blower to slam an enemy into a wall, or using telekinesis to drop an enemy into a bottomless pit. These moments, combined with status effects like bleed, poison, and burn, allow you to use the environment to your advantage constantly. The experimentation extends to your heroes as well. Each character feels impactful and unique. The Hunter can coordinate attacks with his dog or set traps. The Arcanist can chain lightning through groups of enemies, and the Priest balances area of effect holy damage with vital healing. As you unlock new skills like the Ranger's Reload for double shots or the Brawler's massive damage dealer skills, the tactical flavor only improves. Strategic planning is the key to reaching the boss. The map clearly labels enemies, mini-bosses, events, and shops, allowing you to plot your path. However, the journey is plagued by dark events. While some are skippable, others force you into combat. The system can feel unfairly punishing, occasionally throwing you into dead-end situations where defeat feels inevitable. Even with camp upgrades meant to lower the frequency of these events, the RNG often feels relentless. Within battles, you'll manage your party via the camp system. During the night cycle, characters perform specific tasks. The Hunter gathers wood, the Brawler heals the party, and the Arcanist purges Blight, a debuff that grows over time and is worsened by blighted enemies. These actions rely on limited resources like food, wood, and herbs gathered from combat or purchased from merchants, making every decision in a camp a high-stakes balancing act. It is worth noting that Blightstone is relentless, as I mentioned before. The game often feels intentionally unfair as enemies scale in power alongside you. Each biome introduces unique threats, from dwarves and massive scorpions to farmers that ensure you'll suffer before you succeed. The bosses are equally varied, ranging from muscle-brain brawler to a mage, each requiring a different strategy. Ultimately, you must get used to dying often and restarting. Success only comes to those who persevere. The dynamic weather system adds another layer of tactical depth, though its impact is felt more in the later stages of the game. Dense fog obscures vision, rain boosts the potency of electric attacks, and strong winds can ruin your accuracy. These environmental factors provide as many opportunities as they do setbacks, provided you pay attention. While Blightstone attempts to prioritize narrative, the execution is a mixed bag. There is plenty of lore to uncover and many characters to meet, but the delivery can be frustrating. My biggest gripe is that every new run forces you to skip the same repetitive dialogue and opening cutscenes before you can actually play. This creates an unnecessary friction point that simply leads you to smash the skip button, as the story feels secondary to the gameplay loop. In conclusion, Blightstone does an excellent job of keeping the roguelike loop engaging through unpredictable encounters and deep, gridless tactical combat. While the content currently feels a bit shallow after several hours, this is a forgivable trait for an early access title. If you enjoy challenging yourself and combining different genres, this is a must-play roguelite strategy game that will only get better with time.